There comes a moment in life when the noise becomes too loud. Too many opinions. Too many distractions. Too many people pulling you away from the person you were meant to become. You wake up tired. You sleep frustrated. You smile outside, but inside you know something is wrong. You feel stuck. Not because you are weak. Not because you are cursed. But because you have spent too much time giving your energy to everything except yourself. And that is why disappearing can change your life. Not disappearing because you hate people. Not disappearing because you failed. But disappearing because your soul needs rebuilding. Imagine this. For the next 6 months, you stop chasing attention. You stop explaining yourself to everyone. You stop wasting time proving your value to people who never appreciated you. Instead, you focus on becoming stronger, smarter, calmer, healthier, more disciplined, more powerful. Most people fear being alone because they have never met themselves in silence. But silence can heal you. The truth is, every successful person has a season where nobody sees them. A season of isolation. A season of rebuilding. While the world was partying, they were learning. While others were gossiping, they were growing. While everyone searched for validation, they were building themselves quietly. That is the power of disappearing. And if you are ready to rebuild your life, then stay with me until the end of this video because what you are about to hear may completely change the way you see yourself. Before we continue, take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me this, if you disappeared for 6 months, what part of your life would you change first? Your comment might inspire someone else who is silently struggling. Now listen carefully. The first thing you must understand is this. You cannot rebuild your life while living the same lifestyle that destroyed your peace. Read that again in your mind. If your habits are toxic, your future will suffer. If your environment is negative, your mindset will become weak. If your circle drains your energy, your dreams will slowly die. Many people want a better life, but they refuse to change the things that keep them broken. Growth requires sacrifice. Sometimes the greatest upgrade in your life begins when you stop entertaining nonsense. When you disappear, something powerful happens. Your mind becomes clearer. You finally hear your own thoughts again. You begin to realize how much time you wasted scrolling endlessly on social media, comparing yourself to people who are also lost. You realize how much energy you gave to fake friendships, meaningless conversations, and temporary pleasures. And suddenly, you begin to reconnect with yourself. That is where transformation begins. During these 6 months, your mission is simple. Build yourself in silence. You do not need to announce your plans. You do not need to post every move online. You do not need everyone's approval. Move quietly. Some of the strongest transformations happen in private. A seed grows underground before anyone sees the tree. And just like that seed, your growth does not need applause in the beginning. It needs patience. The first thing you must rebuild is your mind. Because if your mind is weak, your life will always feel heavy. Your mind controls everything. The way you think affects the way you act. The way you act affects your future. Stop feeding your mind with negativity every day. Stop waking up and immediately checking your phone. Stop consuming content that destroys your confidence. Stop listening to people who constantly speak fear into your life. Protect your mind like your future depends on it. Because it does. Start reading books that make you wiser. Listen to words that make you stronger. Spend time in silence. Reflect. Think deeply about your life. Ask yourself difficult questions. Who am I becoming? What is destroying my peace? What kind of life do I truly want? Most people never ask themselves these questions because they are too distracted. But when you disappear, you finally create space for self-awareness. And self-awareness changes everything. The next thing you must rebuild is your body. Your body is your home. If your body feels weak, your confidence will suffer. If your energy is low, your motivation will disappear. You do not need to become perfect overnight. Just start taking care of yourself. Wake up earlier. Drink more water. Exercise consistently. Walk more. Sleep better. Eat food that gives you energy instead of destroying your health. Discipline in the body creates discipline in the mind. And every single workout becomes a reminder that you are capable of change. At first, it will feel difficult. There will be days when laziness whispers in your ear. Days when your old habits try to pull you back. But remember this. Every powerful person you admire once struggled with discipline too. The difference is they kept going. You must learn to keep going even when motivation disappears. Because motivation is temporary. Discipline is what changes lives. Now let us talk about something most people avoid. Your environment. Sometimes the reason you cannot grow is because you are surrounded by people who are comfortable staying the same. Negative energy spreads quickly. If you spend all your time around people who gossip, complain, waste time, and avoid responsibility, eventually you will become like them. Energy is contagious. This is why disappearing matters. You need distance from chaos. Not forever. But long enough to hear your own voice again. Protect your energy during these 6 months. Not everyone deserves access to you. You do not need to answer every message immediately. You do not need to attend every gathering. You do not need to keep explaining your boundaries. Sometimes saying less saves your peace. And during your rebuilding season, peace is extremely important. Another thing you must do is develop a vision for your future. Without direction, life becomes confusing. Most people drift through life without purpose. They wake up. Scroll. Eat. Complain. Sleep. Repeat. That is not living. That is surviving. You were created for more than survival. Ask yourself, what kind of future do I truly want? Do you want financial freedom? Do you want peace of mind? Do you want confidence? Do you want purpose? Do you want respect? Then start becoming the person capable of handling those things. Because a better future requires a better version of you. Your 6 months should be focused on becoming that version. Learn valuable skills. Improve your communication. Study. Work hard. Save money. Create goals. Stay focused. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Real transformation takes time. The world has trained people to expect instant results. But real growth is slow. A flower does not bloom overnight. A strong body is not built in a week. A disciplined mind takes time to develop. So stop rushing your journey. Small daily improvements become massive results later. And one day people will look at you and wonder how your life changed so much. They will not see the lonely nights. They will not see the sacrifices. They will not see the discipline. But you will know. You will remember every moment you chose growth over comfort. There is also something important you must understand. Loneliness and solitude are not the same thing. Loneliness feels empty. Solitude feels powerful. When you learn to enjoy your own company, you become dangerous in the best way possible. Because now you no longer depend on constant attention to feel valuable. You become emotionally stronger. You stop begging for validation. You stop chasing approval. You stop forcing connections that drain your soul. And suddenly your standards rise. You begin protecting your peace differently. That is maturity. One of the greatest signs that your life is changing is when you become more comfortable with silence. You no longer need to prove yourself constantly. You simply focus on your mission. And while others are distracted, you continue building. Remember this carefully. The goal of disappearing is not to escape life. The goal is to prepare yourself for a better life. A stronger life. A healthier life. A more meaningful life. You are not hiding. You are healing. You are rebuilding parts of yourself that the world helped break. And there is nothing wrong with taking time to heal. In fact, some of the most successful people rebuilt themselves far away from distractions. The world celebrates results. But it rarely talks about the isolation required to create those results. Success often grows in silence. Another thing you must do during these 6 months is forgive yourself. Many people stay stuck because they keep punishing themselves for their past mistakes. Yes, you made mistakes. Yes, you wasted time. Yes, some people hurt you. Yes, you may have failed before. But your past does not have to control your future. Forgive yourself. You cannot heal while constantly hating who you used to be. Growth begins when you accept your past but refuse to live there forever. Every day is another opportunity to become someone better. Do not let shame destroy your future. Learn from your mistakes. Grow from them. Use the pain as fuel. Pain can either break you or build you. The choice is yours. During your rebuilding season, you must also learn the power of consistency. Consistency looks boring in the beginning. Going to the gym every day. Reading every day. Saving money every day. Practicing discipline every day. It does not feel exciting immediately. But consistency creates miracles. A small action repeated daily can completely transform your life. Most people fail because they only move when they feel inspired. But successful people move even when they do not feel like it. That is the difference. You must become someone who keeps promises to yourself. If you say you will wake up early, do it. If you say you will work on your goals, do it. If you say you will stop certain habits, mean it. Self-respect grows when your actions match your words. And once you trust yourself again, your confidence becomes unstoppable. Let me tell you something powerful. Your future self is watching you right now. The person you dream of becoming is waiting for you to make a decision. A decision to stop wasting your life. A decision to stop settling for less. A decision to finally take yourself seriously. This could be the moment everything changes for you. 6 months may sound small. But focused effort over 6 months can completely transform a human being. You can change your body. Your mindset. Your habits. Your confidence. Your finances. Your entire direction in life. But only if you commit. Not halfway. Not sometimes. Fully. There will be moments when nobody notices your progress. Keep going. There will be moments when you doubt yourself. Keep going. There will be moments when old habits tempt you. Keep going. One day you will thank yourself for not giving up. And when you finally return after your season of rebuilding, people will notice the difference. Your energy will feel different. Your confidence will feel different. Your discipline will feel different. Not because you became perfect. But because you became intentional. You stopped living carelessly. You finally understood that your life deserves effort. And maybe the most beautiful part of all this is that you begin inspiring others without even trying. Your transformation becomes proof that change is possible. That is why you must never give up on yourself. Even if life feels messy right now. Even if your heart feels tired. Even if your confidence feels broken. You can rebuild. You can start again. And sometimes disappearing for a while is exactly what your soul needs to grow. So if you are watching this today, let this be your sign. Your comeback season can begin now. Not next year. Not someday. Now. Take control of your habits. Protect your peace. Focus on your growth. Move in silence. Stay disciplined. Trust the process. And 6 months from now, your entire life could look different. Before this video ends, I want you to do something important. Go down into the comments and write, "I am rebuilding my life." Write it with confidence. Because the moment you decide to change, your transformation already begins. And if this message touched your heart, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who needs motivation today. Your support helps this community grow stronger together. Remember, sometimes you must disappear from the world for a while, so you can finally find yourself again. The things that once controlled you start losing their power. The constant need for attention fades. The fear of missing out disappears. The addiction to validation becomes weaker. Because you finally understand something most people never learn. Peace is more valuable than popularity. A calm mind is worth more than temporary applause. Many people are famous online but empty inside. Many people look happy in public but secretly feel broken when they are alone. Never envy appearances. Real success is not just money. Real success is waking up with peace in your heart. Real success is having control over your emotions. Real success is becoming someone you are proud of when nobody is watching. And that kind of success is built privately. That is why your 6 months matter so much. This is your season of internal construction. A building cannot stand tall without a strong foundation. And if your foundation is weak, pressure will eventually expose it. So during these months, focus deeply on your foundation. Strengthen your habits. Strengthen your thinking. Strengthen your discipline. Strengthen your emotional control. Especially your emotional control. Because one uncontrolled emotion can destroy opportunities, relationships, and years of progress. Learn to stay calm. Not every emotion deserves a reaction. Sometimes silence is strength. Sometimes walking away is wisdom. Sometimes patience is power. A mature mind understands this. And one of the greatest lessons you will learn during your rebuilding season is that self-control creates freedom. When you control your impulses, your future improves. When you control your anger, your relationships improve. When you control your distractions, your focus improves. Everything changes when you become more intentional. And yes, there will be temptations. There will be moments when your old lifestyle tries to pull you back. Moments when procrastination whispers to you. Moments when comfort feels safer than growth. But remember why you started. Remember the pain that pushed you toward change. Sometimes pain is a wake-up call. Sometimes heartbreak saves you. Sometimes failure teaches you discipline. Sometimes loneliness introduces you to yourself. Do not waste your painful experiences. Use them. Turn pain into wisdom. Turn rejection into motivation. Turn disappointment into fuel. Some of the strongest people in the world were built during difficult seasons. Pressure creates diamonds. And maybe this difficult season in your life is not punishment. Maybe it is preparation. Preparation for the stronger version of yourself that is waiting to emerge. You see, life changes when you stop seeing yourself as a victim and start seeing yourself as a creator. You may not control everything that happens to you. But you can control how you respond. That is power. You can choose discipline over excuses. You can choose growth over comfort. You can choose healing over bitterness. Every day you make choices. And eventually your choices become your life. So choose carefully. Choose habits that strengthen you. Choose people who inspire you. Choose environments that bring peace to your soul. And most importantly, choose yourself. Not selfishly. Not arrogantly. But wisely. Because if you constantly abandon yourself to satisfy everyone else, eventually you will feel empty. Your rebuilding season is teaching you how to stop abandoning yourself. It is teaching you boundaries. It is teaching you self-respect. It is teaching you how to protect your energy. And those lessons are priceless. Another thing you will notice after disappearing for a while is how much clarity enters your life. You begin seeing people differently. You begin recognizing distractions faster. You begin understanding what truly matters. Distance reveals truth. Sometimes you need space away from noise to realize who genuinely cares about you and who only enjoyed your availability. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your life. And that is okay. You do not need 1,000 fake connections. You need a few real ones. Quality matters more than quantity. The older and wiser you become, the more you value genuine energy. You start appreciating honest conversations, peaceful environments, and meaningful relationships. Because drama becomes exhausting when your mind matures. And maturity changes your taste in everything. You stop craving chaos. You stop chasing people who drain you. You stop entertaining things that disturb your peace. That is growth. Real growth is not always loud. Sometimes growth looks like becoming calmer. Sometimes growth looks like saying no. Sometimes growth looks like walking away quietly. Sometimes growth looks like resting instead of proving yourself constantly. You begin realizing that protecting your mental health is not weakness. It is wisdom. And let me tell you something else. During these 6 months, there will be moments when nobody claps for you. Nobody sees your effort. Nobody notices your discipline. Nobody understands your sacrifices. Keep going anyway. Because not every stage of growth receives applause. Some victories are silent. And honestly, those silent victories are often the most important ones. The day you resist an old habit. The day you stay focused instead of giving up. The day you choose healing instead of revenge. The day you believe in yourself a little more than yesterday. Those moments matter. Do not underestimate small progress. A tiny improvement repeated daily can completely change your future. People often fail because they only celebrate huge achievements. But life is built from small consistent actions. Small steps create massive transformation over time. That is why discipline is more powerful than motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. Discipline wakes you up when excuses appear. Discipline keeps you moving when emotions change. Discipline protects your future from your temporary moods. And once discipline becomes part of your identity, your entire life begins changing. You become reliable. Focused. Stable. Confident. Not because life became easy. But because you became stronger. That is the goal. Not an easy life. A stronger mind. Because a strong mind can survive difficult seasons without breaking. And if you are listening to this right now, I want you to understand something deeply. You are not behind in life. Stop comparing your journey to everyone else. Comparison destroys peace. Everybody has different timing. Different struggles. Different lessons. Different paths. Your journey is unique. Some people bloom early. Others bloom later. But late blooming is still blooming. Do not rush your growth because of social pressure. The internet has made people feel like they must achieve everything immediately. But real life does not work like that. Take your time. Heal properly. Learn properly. Grow properly. You are building a life, not winning a race. And during your rebuilding season, patience becomes one of your greatest strengths. Patience with your progress. Patience with your healing. Patience with your future. Trust that your consistent effort will eventually reward you. Even if results are invisible right now. A tree grows roots long before anyone sees branches. And your roots are growing too. Every lesson. Every sacrifice. Every disciplined day. It is all shaping you into someone stronger. One day you will look in the mirror and barely recognize the person you used to be. Not physically alone, but mentally. You will think differently. React differently. Carry yourself differently. The things that once broke you will no longer control you. And that is true transformation. Transformation is not becoming someone fake. It is becoming who you were always meant to be before fear, pain, and distractions took over your life. That is why this journey matters. You are reclaiming yourself. You are reconnecting with your purpose. You are finally becoming intentional with your existence. And there is something beautiful about a person who decides to rise after struggling silently. Never be ashamed of starting over. Starting over is courage. Some people stay miserable because they are afraid of change. But you decided to rebuild. That decision alone already separates you from many people. So keep going. Even on difficult days. Even on lonely nights. Even when progress feels slow. Keep going. Because 6 months of sacrifice can create a version of yourself that changes your entire future. And imagine this. Imagine waking up one day feeling proud of yourself again. Feeling healthy. Focused. Disciplined. Peaceful. Feeling excited about your future instead of afraid of it. That future is possible. But it requires commitment. Nobody can do the work for you. At some point you must stop waiting for motivation and start becoming the type of person who moves with purpose no matter how you feel. That is where real power begins. So if this message is speaking directly to your heart right now, do not ignore it. Maybe this is the sign you have been waiting for. The sign to finally take your life seriously. The sign to protect your energy. The sign to stop settling for less than your potential. Your new life begins with new decisions. And your comeback can begin today. Before this video ends, I want you to promise yourself something. Promise yourself that you will not give up on your future. Promise yourself that you will stop disrespecting your own potential. Promise yourself that you will keep growing no matter how long it takes. At first, nobody notices. The changes are invisible in the beginning. Nobody sees the mornings you forced yourself to wake up early. Nobody sees the nights you stayed disciplined when temptation appeared. Nobody sees the mental battles you fight silently every single day. But slowly, very slowly, you begin changing from the inside out. Your confidence becomes real. Your smile becomes genuine. Your energy becomes peaceful. And people start feeling your transformation before they even understand it. Because real growth changes your presence. You walk differently. You speak differently. You think differently. Not because you are trying to impress people. But because suffering taught you lessons comfort never could. And one of the hardest lessons you will learn during this journey is that not everyone can come with you into your next chapter. Some people only knew the broken version of you. Some people benefited from your weakness. Some people felt comfortable when you lacked confidence. But growth changes relationships. And sometimes the moment you start respecting yourself, certain connections naturally fade away. Do not fear that. Anything that disappears because you started improving yourself was never meant to stay permanently in your life. Real people will respect your growth. Real people will encourage your healing. Real people will understand your need for peace. And during your rebuilding season, peace becomes addictive. Not boredom. Not loneliness. Peace. The kind of peace that comes from knowing you are no longer betraying yourself. That feeling is priceless. Because deep down, many people are exhausted not from work, but from constantly fighting against themselves. They know what they should do. But they keep choosing habits that destroy them. And over time that creates frustration, guilt, and sadness. But everything changes when your actions finally align with your goals. When you say you will improve and actually improve. When you say you will heal and actually heal. When you say you will become disciplined and finally commit, that creates inner peace. Because your mind begins trusting you again. And trust in yourself is powerful. Without self-trust, confidence disappears. But when you keep promises to yourself consistently, your confidence becomes unshakable. You stop doubting every decision. You stop fearing every challenge. You stop needing constant reassurance from other people. Because now you know something important. You know that no matter what happens, you can rely on yourself. That feeling changes everything. And listen carefully. Your rebuilding season is not just about success. It is also about identity. You are becoming someone new. Not fake. Not perfect. Just evolved. The old version of you reacted emotionally to everything. The new version chooses calmness. The old version wasted time trying to fit in. The new version values authenticity. The old version chased attention. The new version chases purpose. That is evolution. And evolution requires letting go of old patterns. Sometimes you must release habits that once comforted you because they no longer serve your future. That can feel painful. Growth often feels painful. Because change forces you to leave familiar territory. But familiar does not always mean healthy. Many people stay trapped in environments that hurt them simply because they are used to them. Do not let familiarity destroy your future. Choose growth even when it feels uncomfortable. Because comfort zones are dangerous places. Nothing extraordinary grows there. Every dream requires discomfort. Every transformation requires sacrifice. Every comeback requires patience. And patience is becoming rare in today's world. People want instant success. Instant healing. Instant results. But real transformation takes time. The strongest mountains were not built overnight. The deepest wisdom was not learned in comfort. The most disciplined minds were not created in a single week. Everything meaningful requires time. So stop being angry at yourself for not becoming perfect immediately. You are learning. You are healing. You are rebuilding. That process deserves patience. And while rebuilding your life, one of the most important things you must learn is emotional independence. Learn how to be okay alone. Not because people are bad. But because depending completely on others for happiness is dangerous. People change. Situations change. Life changes. But when you build inner strength, you carry peace within yourself wherever you go. That is freedom. True freedom is emotional stability. It is being able to enjoy your own company. It is being able to sit in silence without feeling empty. It is being able to walk away from toxic situations without losing yourself. That kind of strength is rare. And it is built during lonely seasons. Never underestimate what solitude can teach you. Some people fear silence because silence reveals truth. But truth can heal you. In silence, you realize what truly matters. In silence, you recognize your unhealthy habits. In silence, you hear the dreams you ignored for years. And maybe for the first time in your life, you begin listening to your soul instead of the noise of the world. That changes a person forever. Suddenly your priorities shift. You stop trying to impress everybody. You stop wasting energy on meaningless competition. You stop chasing things that look good but feel empty. Instead, you begin building substance. A strong mind. A peaceful spirit. A disciplined lifestyle. A meaningful future. And those things matter far more than temporary attention. Because attention fades. But character stays. And your character is being shaped right now by the choices you make daily. Every decision matters. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you strengthen your future. Every time you choose healing over bitterness, you strengthen your heart. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you strengthen your purpose. Little choices create massive outcomes over time. That is why your daily routine matters so much. Your routine is creating your future whether you realize it or not. If your routine is filled with distractions, your future will feel chaotic. If your routine is filled with discipline, your future will slowly become powerful. Your habits are building your destiny. Never forget that. And another thing. Stop underestimating yourself. You have survived things that once felt impossible. You have carried pain silently. You have fought battles nobody even knows about. There is strength inside you. Maybe it has been buried beneath fear, disappointment, or exhaustion. But it is still there. And this rebuilding season is helping you rediscover it. You are stronger than you think. Do not allow temporary emotions to convince you that your future is hopeless. A bad moment is not a bad life. Storms do not last forever. Even the darkest night eventually ends. And sometimes your greatest breakthrough comes after your hardest season. That is why you must keep moving forward. Even slowly. Progress is progress. Do not quit just because the journey feels difficult. Difficult journeys often lead to beautiful destinations. And imagine who you could become if you truly committed to yourself for the next 6 months. Imagine the discipline you could build. The confidence you could develop. The peace you could create. The opportunities you could attract. Your future could completely transform. Not through luck. But through consistency. Consistency is powerful because it compounds. One disciplined day may not change your life immediately. But hundreds of disciplined days absolutely will. That is how transformation happens. Quietly. Gradually. Powerfully. And eventually there comes a moment where you realize something incredible. You are no longer trying to survive life. You are finally creating it intentionally. That realization changes everything. Because now you stop acting like a victim of circumstances and start acting like the architect of your future. You begin taking responsibility. You begin thinking long-term. You begin protecting your energy like something valuable. And that mindset alone separates you from many people. Most people stay trapped because they never fully commit to change. They want improvement without sacrifice. Results without discipline. Peace without boundaries. But life does not work that way. Everything valuable requires effort. And the version of you that you dream about. That version requires effort too. But trust me, it is worth it. Every difficult morning. Every lonely night. Every disciplined decision. It is all worth it. Because one day you will wake up and realize you became the person you once desperately needed. Stronger. Wiser. Calmer. More focused. And most importantly, at peace with yourself. That is the real victory. So do not stop now. Your transformation is already happening even if you cannot fully see it yet. Keep building. Keep healing. Keep learning. Keep growing. And when the world finally sees your glow up, they will think it happened suddenly. But you will know the truth. You will know it was built through silent discipline, painful lessons, lonely nights, and relentless self-belief. That is real transformation. Before this video ends, I want you to remind yourself of something powerful. You are not starting over from nothing. You are starting over with wisdom. And wisdom changes everything. You stop chasing things that once controlled your emotions. You no longer panic when people ignore you. You no longer feel desperate for approval. You no longer feel the need to explain your worth to everyone around you. Because deep inside, you finally understand your value. And people who understand their value move differently. They protect their time. They protect their peace. They protect their focus. Not out of arrogance, but out of wisdom. You begin realizing that your energy is precious. Where you invest your attention matters. Who you spend time with matters. What you feed your mind matters. Everything matters. Because every day is shaping the person you are becoming. And during your rebuilding season, you start becoming more intentional about your life. You stop living on autopilot. Instead of reacting to life emotionally, you begin responding consciously. That is growth. Real growth is emotional maturity. It is being able to stay calm during difficult moments. It is being able to think clearly under pressure. It is being able to walk away from negativity without needing revenge. Not every battle deserves your participation. Sometimes winning means protecting your peace instead of proving a point. And honestly, one of the most powerful things you can learn in life is how to remain calm in a chaotic world. Calmness is a superpower. Anybody can react emotionally. Anybody can lose control. Anybody can complain. But staying disciplined, focused, and peaceful when life becomes difficult. That requires strength. And strength is exactly what you are building during these 6 months. You are becoming mentally stronger. Emotionally stronger. Spiritually stronger. Even if nobody else notices yet. Remember this, the strongest growth often happens invisibly. Roots grow underground before the tree becomes visible above the surface. And right now, your roots are growing. Your discipline is becoming deeper. Your mindset is becoming stronger. Your standards are becoming higher. That is why you must stay patient. Do not ruin long-term growth because of short-term emotions. Some days you will feel discouraged. Some days you will question your progress. Some days you will feel tempted to return to old habits. Do not give up. Transformation is uncomfortable because you are becoming unfamiliar with your old self. You are evolving. And evolution always feels strange in the beginning. Think about it. The old version of you wanted quick pleasure. The new version wants long-term peace. The old version avoided discomfort. The new version understands that discomfort creates growth. The old version wasted time seeking validation. The new version values self-respect more than attention. That is powerful. And slowly, your entire life begins changing because your identity is changing. You begin respecting your body more. You begin respecting your mind more. You begin respecting your future more. That self-respect changes your decisions. You stop tolerating certain environments. You stop accepting toxic behavior. You stop abandoning your goals every time life becomes difficult. Because now you understand something important. Your future deserves protection. Not everybody deserves access to your dreams. Not everybody deserves access to your energy. Not everybody deserves access to your peace. And learning boundaries is part of becoming powerful. Boundaries are not selfish. They are necessary. Without boundaries, people will drain your energy endlessly. Some people only call you when they need something. Some people only keep you around when you are useful to them. Some people secretly enjoy seeing you stay small because your growth makes them uncomfortable. That is why you must become selective. Selective with your circle. Selective with your habits. Selective with your attention. Your life improves when your standards improve. And another thing. Stop romanticizing your old life if your old life was destroying you. Sometimes people miss toxic situations simply because they feel familiar. But familiar pain is still pain. Do not return to habits, people, or environments that damaged your peace just because change feels lonely. Loneliness during growth is temporary. Regret from staying stuck can last for years. Choose growth. Even when it feels uncomfortable. Especially when it feels uncomfortable. Because discomfort often means you are moving in the right direction. Every athlete feels discomfort while training. Every successful person experiences discomfort while growing. Every healed person experiences discomfort while letting go of the past. Discomfort is not always a bad sign. Sometimes it is proof that transformation is happening. And listen carefully. One of the biggest mistakes people make during their rebuilding season is expecting perfection. Do not do that to yourself. You will still have bad days. You will still make mistakes sometimes. You will still struggle occasionally. That does not mean you are failing. Progress is not perfection. A person can stumble and still keep moving forward. What matters is consistency. Keep showing up for yourself. Keep choosing growth. Keep trying again. That is how strong people are built. Not through perfection. Through persistence. Persistence changes lives. The ability to continue even when things feel difficult is one of the rarest qualities in the world. Most people quit too early. They quit because progress feels slow. They quit because results are invisible at first. They quit because discipline becomes uncomfortable. But people who keep going eventually change their lives completely. That can be you too. If you stay committed. And during your rebuilding season, there is another lesson you must learn. Stop seeking external validation for internal growth. Not everybody will clap for your healing. Not everybody will understand your transformation. Not everybody will support your discipline. Do it anyway. Your growth is not for public approval. It is for your future. Some journeys must be walked quietly. Some goals must be protected privately. Move in silence. You do not need to announce every plan. You do not need to post every improvement online. You do not need strangers validating your discipline. Real power often moves quietly. And honestly, silence protects your energy. Too much talking can weaken momentum. Sometimes the moment you announce your goals, you feel falsely accomplished before doing the actual work. So focus more on action than announcements. Let your results speak. And trust me. Results always speak loudly. One day people will see your confidence and ask what changed. One day people will notice your peace and wonder how you became so calm. One day people will admire your discipline without understanding how many sacrifices created it. But you will know. You will remember the lonely mornings. The difficult decisions. The nights you almost gave up but kept going anyway. That is your story. And your story matters. Never be ashamed of your rebuilding season. There is courage in choosing to improve yourself instead of remaining broken. Many people spend their entire lives running from self-improvement because it requires honesty. It requires looking in the mirror and admitting, I need to change. I need to grow. I need to take responsibility for my future. That honesty is powerful. Because once you become honest with yourself, transformation becomes possible. And maybe that is why you are listening to this right now. Maybe a part of your soul is tired of staying stuck. Maybe a part of you knows you were meant for more. Maybe deep inside you are ready to become the strongest version of yourself. If that is true, then this is your moment. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Now. Start where you are. Use what you have. Take one step at a time. You do not need to have everything figured out immediately. You just need to begin. Read more. Learn more. Focus more. Heal more. Discipline yourself more. Little by little, your life will begin changing. And eventually, the person you are becoming will feel completely different from the person you used to be. That is the beauty of growth. Growth changes your entire reality. You stop thinking like a victim and start thinking like a creator. You stop seeing obstacles as punishment and start seeing them as lessons. You stop fearing solitude and start using it for self-discovery. Everything shifts. And once your mindset shifts, your entire life follows. So keep rebuilding. Even when nobody notices. Even when progress feels invisible. Even when the journey feels lonely. Keep going. Because one day your future self will thank you for every sacrifice you made during these 6 months. And when that day comes, you will realize something beautiful. Disappearing was never about escaping the world. It was about finally becoming the person you were always capable of becoming. Before this video ends, I want you to take a deep breath and remind yourself, my life can change. Because it can. Far away from the noise. Far away from the pressure. Far away from the endless distractions. You finally begin hearing the voice you ignored for years. Your own voice. Not the voice of social media. Not the voice of fear. Not the voice of people telling you what your life should look like. But your real voice. The voice that says, you are capable of more. You were not born to stay stuck. You were not created just to survive. And once you reconnect with that voice, your entire perspective begins changing. You stop settling for mediocrity. You stop accepting excuses from yourself. You stop living carelessly with your time and energy. Because now your future feels personal. Now every day matters. And one of the most beautiful things about rebuilding your life is watching yourself become someone you once admired. Think about that. The discipline you used to envy in others. You begin developing it. The confidence you thought only certain people had. You begin building it. The peace you searched for outside yourself. You begin finding it within. That is transformation. Not pretending to be somebody else. But unlocking the strength that was already hidden inside you. And yes, there will still be difficult moments. Healing does not erase human emotions. You will still experience disappointment sometimes. You will still feel pain sometimes. You will still have moments of uncertainty. But now you handle those moments differently. Instead of collapsing, you breathe. Instead of panicking, you think clearly. Instead of giving up, you adapt and continue moving forward. That is maturity. A strong person is not someone who never struggles. A strong person is someone who continues despite the struggle. And during these 6 months, you are becoming that person. You are learning resilience. Resilience is powerful because life will always test you. There will always be challenges. There will always be unexpected difficulties. There will always be moments where you feel pressured. But a disciplined mind can survive pressure without breaking. That is why your mental strength matters more than almost anything else. Protect your mind daily. Feed it wisdom instead of negativity. Feed it purpose instead of distraction. Feed it discipline instead of excuses. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you water consistently will grow. If you water fear, fear grows. If you water laziness, laziness grows. If you water discipline, discipline grows. So be intentional with what you feed yourself every day. And another thing. Do not underestimate the power of your environment. Your environment shapes your habits more than you realize. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, your mindset becomes heavy. If you constantly surround yourself with distractions, your focus weakens. If you surround yourself with people who lack ambition, eventually your own ambition begins shrinking. Energy transfers. That is why your rebuilding season may require distance from certain places and people. Not from hatred. But from wisdom. You cannot heal in the same environment that keeps hurting you. Sometimes growth requires separation. Sometimes peace requires distance. And that is okay. Not every season of your life requires constant social interaction. Some seasons are meant for deep self-development. Some seasons are meant for healing. Some seasons are meant for discipline. Some seasons are meant for rediscovering who you truly are. And maybe this is your season. A season to rebuild your habits. A season to rebuild your confidence. A season to rebuild your future. Take it seriously. Because many people waste years waiting for life to magically improve while refusing to improve themselves. Do not become one of those people. Your future changes when your daily actions change. Nothing changes if you keep repeating the same destructive patterns. You cannot create a new life with an old mindset. That is impossible. Your external world eventually reflects your internal world. If your thoughts are chaotic, your life feels chaotic. If your habits are weak, your future becomes unstable. If your discipline is strong, your life slowly becomes powerful. Everything begins within. That is why self-awareness is so important. You must become honest with yourself. What habits are damaging your future? What distractions are stealing your time? What fears are controlling your decisions? Face those questions honestly. Because honesty creates transformation. Many people stay trapped because they lie to themselves constantly. They blame everybody else. They avoid responsibility. They refuse to confront their own destructive habits. But growth begins the moment you stop lying to yourself. The moment you say, yes, I need to change. Yes, I need discipline. Yes, I need to become better. That honesty becomes the beginning of your comeback story. And once your comeback begins, protect it fiercely. Do not allow temporary emotions to destroy permanent progress. There will be days when motivation disappears. Days when old habits call your name. Days when comfort feels easier than discipline. But remember something important. Every time you resist a destructive habit, you become stronger. Strength is built through resistance. Just like muscles grow through resistance in the gym, your character grows through resistance in life. Every difficult moment is training your mind. That means even your struggles can become useful if you learn from them. Pain can teach wisdom. Failure can teach discipline. Loneliness can teach self-discovery. Nothing is wasted when you choose growth. And listen carefully. One day, your current struggles will become part of your strength. The pain you survived will make you wiser. The heartbreak you endured will make you more emotionally intelligent. The lonely nights will make you appreciate peace differently. Everything is shaping you. That is why you must stop seeing yourself as broken. You are rebuilding. There is a difference. Broken things stay destroyed. Rebuilding means restoration is happening. And restoration takes time. Be patient with yourself. Do not rush your healing just because the world moves fast. Take your time becoming whole again. A peaceful soul is worth the patience. And as you continue growing, you will notice something else. Your standards begin rising naturally. You stop tolerating disrespect. You stop settling for less. You stop abandoning your dreams to make other people comfortable. Because now you understand your worth. And people who understand their worth stop begging for things that do not value them. That applies to relationships. Friendships. Opportunities. Everything. Self-respect changes your entire life. The moment you truly respect yourself, your decisions improve. You eat differently. You think differently. You spend time differently. You allow different energy into your life. Everything changes. And honestly, that is one of the greatest rewards of disappearing for a while. You stop living reactively. You start living intentionally. Intentional living is powerful. It means you stop wasting years unconsciously drifting through life. It means you start designing your future carefully. It means your actions finally align with your goals. That creates fulfillment. Because deep down, the human soul wants progress. The soul suffers when life becomes stagnant. That is why many people feel empty even when they have distractions everywhere. They are disconnected from purpose. But purpose returns when discipline enters your life. Purpose grows when you start respecting your own potential. And trust me, you have potential far greater than your current situation. Do not let temporary struggles convince you that your future is small. Some of the strongest people once felt lost too. Some of the most successful people once doubted themselves too. Transformation begins the moment you decide not to quit on yourself anymore. That decision changes everything. So if you are listening right now, let this be your reminder. You still have time. You still have hope. You still have greatness inside you waiting to be awakened. Do not waste another year doubting yourself. Disappear from distractions. Disappear from negativity. Disappear from habits that weaken your future. Then rebuild yourself quietly. Build your discipline. Build your mindset. Build your health. Build your confidence. Build your peace. And when you finally return, return stronger. Return wiser. Return calmer. Return unstoppable. Because the world may have underestimated you before. But after these 6 months, even you will be surprised by the person you become. Before this video ends, I want you to believe something with your whole heart. Your current life is not the end of your story. Better days are possible. A stronger mindset is possible. A peaceful future is possible. But it begins with your decision to change. And that distance is not punishment. It is preparation. Preparation for the life you keep dreaming about. Preparation for the mindset you need. Preparation for the strength your future requires. Because the truth is, the next level of your life demands a different version of you. A more disciplined version. A more focused version. A more emotionally mature version. You cannot carry old habits into a new future and expect different results. Something must change. And that change begins the moment you decide to stop running from yourself. Many people spend years distracting themselves because they are afraid to sit alone with their thoughts. They fear silence. They fear reflection. They fear honesty. But growth requires honesty. You must be honest about what is hurting your life. Honest about what is wasting your potential. Honest about what is keeping you stuck. That honesty may feel uncomfortable at first. But discomfort is often the beginning of transformation. A person cannot heal what they refuse to acknowledge. So during your rebuilding season, stop pretending everything is fine when deep inside you know it is not. Face your reality with courage. Not to shame yourself. But to free yourself. Because awareness creates change. The moment you become aware of your destructive patterns, you gain the power to break them. And slowly, your life starts shifting. You wake up with more clarity. You think with more purpose. You move with more intention. Even your energy begins changing. People can feel when someone is becoming serious about life. There is a quiet intensity about a person who is rebuilding themselves. They become less interested in drama. Less interested in gossip. Less interested in meaningless distractions. Because now they understand the value of time. And time is one of the most valuable things you will ever possess. Money can return. Opportunities can return. But wasted time never returns. That realization changes everything. You stop casually wasting entire days. You stop delaying your dreams endlessly. You stop acting like your future will build itself automatically. Because now you understand, the life you want must be created intentionally. And creation requires discipline. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect in action. It is choosing what benefits your future even when your emotions want something easier. It is waking up when you want to sleep longer. It is staying focused when distractions appear. It is continuing when quitting feels tempting. That is power. And every time you choose discipline, you strengthen your character. Character matters more than people realize. Because eventually, life tests everyone. Difficult seasons arrive unexpectedly. Pressure appears suddenly. Pain enters everybody's story at some point. And when those moments come, character determines whether you collapse or rise. That is why your rebuilding season matters so much. You are not just changing habits. You are building inner strength. The kind of strength that keeps you calm during storms. The kind of strength that helps you think clearly under pressure. The kind of strength that refuses to surrender when life becomes difficult. That kind of strength changes destinies. And maybe for the first time in your life, you are realizing that your future is not controlled only by luck or circumstances. Your habits matter. Your mindset matters. Your decisions matter. Every single day, you are becoming something. The question is, what are you becoming? Are your habits building the future you want? Or destroying it quietly? That question is important. Because many people sabotage themselves slowly without realizing it. They waste hours every day on distractions. They surround themselves with negativity. They avoid growth because comfort feels safer. And then they wonder why life never changes. But life changes when you change. Everything begins there. The outside world reflects the inside world. A disciplined mind creates a disciplined life. A peaceful mind creates a peaceful life. A focused mind creates meaningful progress. That is why rebuilding yourself internally is one of the most important things you will ever do. And while rebuilding yourself, you must learn to become comfortable with delayed gratification. This is where many people fail. They want immediate rewards for every effort. Immediate success. Immediate recognition. Immediate results. But the most valuable things in life often grow slowly. Real confidence grows slowly. Real discipline grows slowly. Real wisdom grows slowly. And because those things grow slowly, many people quit too early. Do not quit too early. A farmer does not plant seeds today and expect fruit tomorrow. Growth requires patience. Trust the process even when progress feels invisible. Because invisible progress is still progress. Just because you cannot see massive results yet does not mean transformation is not happening. Every disciplined day matters. Every focused hour matters. Every healthy decision matters. Little actions repeated consistently become life-changing results later. And one day you will look back at this season and realize it was necessary. Necessary for your maturity. Necessary for your healing. Necessary for your evolution. Without this season, you may have remained distracted forever. Without this season, you may have continued settling for less than your potential. Pain woke you up. Silence taught you. Discipline rebuilt you. That is powerful. And listen carefully. Do not become discouraged if your circle becomes smaller during this journey. Growth often changes relationships. Not everyone will understand your transformation. Not everyone will respect your boundaries. Not everyone will celebrate your discipline. That is okay. You are not rebuilding your life to make everybody comfortable. You are rebuilding your life because your future matters. And sometimes protecting your future requires distance from people who constantly pull you backward. You cannot become your best self while constantly surrounding yourself with negativity. Energy matters. Protect yours carefully. Protect your peace. Protect your focus. Protect your vision. Because the world is filled with distractions designed to keep people disconnected from their potential. Do not become another distracted soul drifting through life unconsciously. Be intentional. Wake up with purpose. Move with purpose. Speak with purpose. Live with purpose. That changes everything. And during your rebuilding season, you will begin discovering parts of yourself you never knew existed. Strength you never recognized before. Wisdom you never developed before. Patience you never practiced before. Hard seasons reveal hidden strength. Sometimes life isolates you not to destroy you, but to introduce you to yourself. To show you how powerful you can become when distractions disappear. And honestly, some of the greatest breakthroughs happen in private. While nobody is watching. While nobody is clapping. While nobody understands your journey. That is where real transformation happens. In silence. Not for attention. Not for applause. But for your own growth. And there is something deeply powerful about becoming successful quietly. No need to boast. No need to prove yourself constantly. Your peace speaks. Your discipline speaks. Your results speak. That is enough. One day, the same people who underestimated you may become shocked by your transformation. But by then, you will no longer need their validation. Because the greatest reward of rebuilding your life is not impressing other people. It is finally respecting yourself. That feeling is priceless. To look in the mirror and know, I kept going. I stayed disciplined. I rebuilt myself. That creates a confidence nobody can fake. A quiet confidence. A grounded confidence. A real confidence. And once you develop that kind of confidence, your entire life changes. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that do not appreciate you. You stop tolerating environments that damage your peace. You stop settling for a life that feels empty. Because now you know what you are capable of becoming. And capability creates responsibility. Once you know you can become better, staying the same becomes painful. That pain is not a curse. It is a sign that your soul wants growth. Listen to it. Do not silence your potential with distractions. Do not bury your dreams beneath laziness and fear. You still have time to change your story. And maybe this is your moment. The moment you stop doubting yourself. The moment you stop making excuses. The moment you finally commit fully to your transformation. Because 6 months of true focus can create a completely different life. A healthier body. A stronger mind. A calmer spirit. A clearer purpose. Everything can change. But only if you stay committed when things become uncomfortable. That is the test. Anybody can stay motivated for a few days. But people who truly transform are the ones who continue even when motivation disappears. Become one of those people. Become someone who refuses to quit on yourself. Because trust me, your future self is begging you not to give up right now. Before this video ends, I want you to remember this deeply. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. Transformation is still possible for you. If you believe that, comment, "The best version of me is coming." And if this message inspired you, subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone who needs hope today, and continue this journey of discipline, healing, and self-mastery with us. Remember, sometimes you must disappear from who you used to be, to finally become who you were meant to become.